Hey everybody, it's Drake here from Loosewire Productions, and welcome to Scrap Mechanic. Now, I have been playing the crap out of this game. I love this game, and I've been wanting to do a series on it. But to be frank, the building aspect of this game isn't that interesting to watch. There's just not too much joy in watching someone try to figure out these very technical ideas. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to come up with an idea, build it, and then show it off to you guys. And this is my rendition of a four-wheeler. Now, if you guys have watched my Unaimed Games episode on Scrap Mechanic, you know that there's not a ton of blocks in the game. There's just not. There's not a lot of stuff to add, variety. There's a lot of kind of weird stuff that I don't know when you would need to use, but as far as like things to make this look more like a four-wheeler, I didn't find any. But you guys are certainly welcome to give it a shot and possibly post a response to show me how mine could look more like a four-wheeler. But the important part here is that this actually represents the real-world ideas behind a four-wheeler very well. You see, four-wheelers are dangerous because they need a low center of gravity so that they can't tip. But at the same time, they need to be high up off the ground so that you can clear brush and rocks and stuff like that. So let's hop right into this and start driving it here. I have this cranked up to a 3, and I think that you'll find with most of your builds that a 3 is more than sufficient for cars and stuff like that, so that you don't tip and you don't just kind of fly out of control here. But ooh, that was close. But we have a very solid design here, and I think it represents the real-life mechanics quite well. I have sport suspension on here, and I know most people would have told me to put off-road suspension on, but the simple fact of it is off-road suspension is so big, and none of these springs are maxed out 100% of the time, so I thought that the sport suspension worked just fine. Now, if we take a tight turn here, we can flip this puppy without any issue. And that's why so many accidents happen on four-wheelers. They are so dangerous for that exact reason. They just can't take and, be any lower to the ground because you need to clear this stuff, but they can't have a better center of gravity because, again, you need to, we could drop this down one and it would have a better center of gravity, but frankly, it would just take and, it wouldn't clear anything. The other option is to, mess with the engine, and we could put this down to a 2, and it would be pretty much impossible to tip. But we couldn't go any higher than a 3. Like, I'll show you guys. Let's go a 5, just for the heck of it. With a 5, your get up and go is gonna be crazy, but every bump you hit is gonna be like nitrous boost. You're just gonna go flying, and I'm not hitting any buttons here. We just don't have really any control. Like, it's sliding pretty much just with wherever the ground says to go. So now we're going backwards. It's not a good place to be at, frankly. So let's put this bad boy back down. Oh, let's put it back down to a 3. Now, if you could lower the center of gravity by 1, if you could probably put these shocks up 1, you could probably up the engine to a 4 and not have too many issues with it. But to be frank, that defeats the purpose because, again, it won't clear any brush. So it's a very fascinating little build. I think it shows a lot of kind of the real world mechanics and the real world ideas that are kind of hidden right inside Scrap Mechanic, and that's the real joy that I found in this game. I can't wait to go through more of this stuff with you guys, and we will slowly get more and more advanced with our builds, I promise you that. But I did want to start with something that was just very simple. If you guys watched my Unaimed Games episode on this, you saw me build a little car, and this is the exact same design. Just an engine, a steering wheel, all 4 of the tires are powered because it has to be 4-wheel drive. It's it's a four-wheeler, and the steering controls, the 2 pivot points for the wheels there. And that is our very simple beginner's build for a four-wheeler. If you guys have more ideas or better ideas for it, I would love to hear them. Let's possibly make it a little bit more like a four-wheeler. I think it's pretty close. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it, but at the same time, it could definitely look more four-wheeler-esque. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.